I was like 99.9% sure that they're both in Asia.
Now, to be honest, look, when stuff like this happens, if basically an A rank hunter and an E rank hunter,
right.
there's like some dispute where like basically they both seem to be back in the same claim that's like false. We just attribute it to the E rank hunter. The A rank gets absolved, so don't worry, Sally, you're fine.
I mean, I didn't actually like assert, hey, it is in Europe. I don't know.
Hey, bro.
It's fine. Milif's got this. He'll pack it for you.
Yeah, no, I'll
All the damage gets transferred.
definitely tank it.
Yeah. So Moscow is on the other side, is on the European side of the Ural Mountains. So
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's weird to me. I don't know. It doesn't make sense in my head.
The way I've always understood it is just like the Siberia, like all the kind of the fucking hinterland is like considered the Asian portion of Russia, and then like the kind of densely populated parts of the it's like mainly European. Sorry.
My God, Sully.
You know, speaking of that, by the way, but you know, I'll wait for round 5. Although I want to point this out that like the past 2 times we've spoken about this issue, i.e. today and whenever the last time was, I was the one who brought it up.
Brought up what?
Nothing, but I schooled like the entire room on some Israel-Palestine stuff recently, and like obviously they're all like crying about it and shit because they're like victimized.
What exactly you schooled them on?
Kind of like everything, kind of.
Where is like the southeastern boundary?
Who was even disputing with you though? Like besides
Sam.
Yeah, obviously.
no, I said the Ural Mountains were the boundaries of Europe and.
No, the day when I Steven Seagal'd you, Sam, McZed, and Zeleny really, but Zeleny, I'm not gonna lie, Zeleny is absolutely disappointing. Like Sam kind of like.
Timothy, my greetings in the chat.
Fuck you, Rye. You fucking bitch. Fuck you.
Why would you invite him?
Where's that coming from?
Fuck you.
Where's that coming from, Sam?
Yo, Steven Seagal would fucking. Well, I mean, he'd fuck all of us up. Never mind. You would get fucked up by Millet, bro. You're a fucking pussy ass bitch.
Dude, wait, what?
Sam, I'd fuck you up too. Don't worry about it.
Years ago, those like Aikido, like bullshit stuff.
We're not gonna be besmirching Steven Seagal's name.
It's like, come on, bro. You beat
Joe
that
with
stuff.
respect.
Like you're a decent rank and shit, Sonny, but like, come on, bro.
Wait, you think Steven Seagal is like some martial arts expert?
Bro, what are we doing here?
Strongest man that ever lived, maybe. It's like probably an understatement.
He's a fucking legend. He's a poet.
I can't tell if y'all are trolling.
No, they're not.
He is like a sensei. Like don't even call him Steven Seagal. Call him Sensei Seagal.
Like it's crazy, Sonny. Do you speak any other languages?
I speak a little bit of Spanish.
You literally heard this man fluently speaking to these women in Russian, and like you presume to like know, you know, whether or not he could have acquired the set of legal skills that make him basically the most formidable, fiercest opponent, you know, in the martial arts in the world.
He works
like,
for the CIA.
You don't even speak another language. It's like kind of retarded to even assume that you could even be the judge of that.
In many different interviews, he has like reported that he worked for the CIA.
Oh, this is what?
Wait, the CIA worked for him?
Yeah, that's right. The CIA worked for him. That's
they were
right.
advancing his interests in the region.
On his website, he said he helped defuse a nuclear bomb. Have you ever seen a bomb, fellas?
If an expert by objects loses possession of his inner self.
To be fair, he would probably beat like most people in this room. He's really tall, right?
I don't know, but he's also like fat.
No, but she's saying like in his prime. Like,
Timothy's really tall, but he couldn't even beat Ronda Rousey.
But even now, he would.
I don't think I could beat him in a boxing.
Sully. No, Sully, like you wouldn't beat him in anything. He probably is better at like fixing sprinklers than you are. And he's actually like a poet.
Oh my!
These jokes, like the originality of them. It's my the wit.
You can understand.
oh, sorry, that one was a good one.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad.
Anything, I mean.
Somebody, he actually did claim to disarm a nuke. Like that wasn't. I didn't just make that
He
up.
also claimed to be like in the CIA.
Claims.
Except that now he's allowed to talk about it for some reason.
Of the
He's a nuke disarmer.
of a heart to have covered to 8 and 1, 8 and 1.
He was
Yeah.
also a police officer because he thought that we should protect. In like Texas, he wanted to protect the border from like
Smuggler? No, that's a better story than you're giving it credit for. Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who's like a notorious like bigot in I think it's in Arizona, not Texas. Like deputized Steven Seagal, and Steven Seagal did like a raid on someone's house for like a TV show, and ended up killing their dog.
No way.
Yeah,
Please subscribe.
He's even more legendary than I knew.
he's so legendary.
Please don't scroll. Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to be
The Homeland side.
Please.
Or Kana side.
Are you a committee person? You rented the room A and B, but this is not the room, this is the hall.
Who would you think would win in a fight? John Jones or Steven Seagal?
Who's John Jones?
Is it like a fair fight?
Okay, well, first is in the UFC in the cage, and then the second question is on the streets.
No, is it fair? No, I'm saying, is it fair? Then, like, what kind of handicap are we putting on Steven Seagal?
Okay, Steven Seagal's got one arm behind his back.
He has to do the medieval thing. We dig a trench for him, and he has to fight from inside the
actual handicap. Come on.
He's gonna fight from a literal wheelchair.
So you're saying you're gonna give him a weapon? Make it fair for John Jones.
It's gonna fucking roll over John Jones.
The real question, though, is who would win in a fight, Timothy or Ronda Rousey?
Look, whatever, bro. Look.
Ronda would kill him and too.
This is like a 2-day thing, and Timothy was insistent that he would
2-day.
I completely forgot this. Yeah, sorry, this happened earlier. I forgot to say I need to complain to my friends. Yeah, that guy Elias is an actual pussy. Like he's just a fucking pussy. And I realized it today, just because he was like trying to do that like dumb trolling. That it's not. He's not.
I don't have any parents. They died. They died years ago.
You probably killed them.
I didn't.
Fuck you, Mom. Fuck you, Dad. You didn't want to buy me a purse. Fucking slice you up. Erica, how desperate are you for friends? What happened to her?
She's back.
You know, with an IQ above room temperature. It's like you're the like he thinks he's like some smart guy. Like you're literally the Buffergates meme. Like you are like technically. I didn't even realize I had this much vitriol until his thing, and then he moved me down the shit, and I was like, you know what? Like you are actually a clown. Like you are actually the clown of the early days of Clubhouse theist debates. Like no wonder you're so insecure. This is me. I'm just forgetting about it because I'm charitable. But you're like he actually needs to be bullied going forward. I forgot that people need to bring Buffergates back to his attention because I think he thinks he can troll from some position of like, oh yeah, like you know, I'm studying philosophy. Like nah, bro, you're Mr. Buffergate.
Wait, what's Buffergate?
You should never ever forget that he's an actual clown, the first of his kind, the first of his name.
Okay, you should explain what Buffergate is now.
Well, have you heard of Watergate?
Yes.
No, it's just like basically like it's just some like one of those like Aristotelian like. 100. Oh shoot.
It's gone. I don't have it anymore.
Really?
Rabbit.
Reason Samoa's wrong, bro.
Alright, real quick question, right? So,
Divided under ideologies, united
hey,
against.
Incan, bro, can you control your autism, bro?
But I haven't rendered a judgment. I'm just
Right.
trying to get clear on what I think the question.
Alright, so his question to me was, after the argument was made, that, well, you know the question, right, about you find out it's a minor, are you still attracted or not attracted to, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying the strong man is in the question, okay? And this is why.
You could do it. It is. I have actually used pipes and valves as a metaphor for like logic before. Like you have the system of pipes and valves, and then you have like the content that you like push through this.
But Millet, there was like an
Sorry, it's because I want my beer
basically like all of these proponents of this argument. So basically they've been like running around terrorizing atheists. And then Venus was the village, like the town savior. And then he came and like just abused them all on this issue. And then they basically like modified the argument. And then came back and then like spoke to like Detroit and a few other people. Your point to them, Venus, was that like they actually still needed the PSR to get the argument off the ground, right? Like the idea was that they didn't need the PSR or something.
Yeah, I think the recording is on YouTube. I don't remember the details, but yeah, there was like it still fell back to the PSR.
Yeah.
But what is it? Even if they say it's not the PSR, it's just like an even more controversial metaphysical principle.
Yeah. This room earlier was like Chillers and 3.0. It was just like 15 black people debating like race stuff.
Well, Sam's room.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I don't hear the voices of people of color. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I put a stop to that as quickly as I could.
You know how like Jewish people like that, like the eschatology of like Judaism isn't like very clear. Like it's not like heaven, hell, whatever. Like if there was a heaven, I think that would be like Sam's heaven. It's like lots of black people screaming at each other about like how white people have, oppressed them.
Well, when John von Neumann spoke to like a 5-year-old, another physicist noticed that he spoke to the 5-year-old the same way he spoke to the rest of them. And so like watching the people, the chosen people yell at each other, it's just the same way as me watching you guys talk to each other. It's just like the same. It's the same. It's just like noise.
Yeah.
It's just It's just crazy people yapping at each other.
It's just yeah. It's just you're inferiors, basically.
No, I'm
It's a collective.
just Josh.
You're inferiors.
Andrew is more of a circus creator than I am. He's like,
that's not saying much.
Andrew's literally P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like everyone's less of a circus creator.
No, but I just be clear. Like, I actually being serious about my like actual frustration with. I can't believe we let like that guy. And I say we loosely. I mean, like, think about how many times we've gone into that room, Sully and stuff, and been like really kind of polite and conciliatory and stuff after like condescension from those people. When like in actual fact, it's like almost like they managed to like reinvent themselves and forget. Like you were like the laughing stock of this application for ages. How dare you?
How dare you?
Like a blood vendetta for life. Like, notice.
No, I don't even give a shit. No, because I actually moved him down as well. Like, I don't care. Like, but I just thought, I was like, it's kind of, sometimes you do this thing where you embolden people, where you don't call them out for their level. Like, and he did, like, the other day he said, like, Sully was retarded to Venus. And, like, Venus said it as a joke. Like obviously Venus doesn't agree with him. Venus doesn't think because Venus doesn't agree with him, but he probably, like, let him get away with that. But in reality, like, we should treat them like the...
And the argument that you actually took over time.
Welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People that don't read books and waste all the time on a Friday where you can read a book instead of having a never-ending conversation about nothing.
about bring me your best debater. You didn't say you're you're an actual fucking retard. And then you think like who laughs when he does his trolling? Who laughs? It's almost like the call center guys worked out sarcasm. Like good job. Like that's the you know what I mean? It's like somehow you confuse that to thinking you're doing like what everyone else is doing. It's like nah, bro.
Yeah, I called this out earlier, Hennessy. Like, that's basically as soon as I met those retweets.
You did, to be fair. No, but I like Hamza and stuff. I like Hamza because he's like, he doesn't think, he doesn't have that level of like...
but I called out Elias in specific.
I've always thought Elias was fucking stupid.
No, but you had an issue with Matthew that one time. I don't remember you even talking to Elias.
I have talked to him, but it's always been very brief. You know,
yeah,
and I don't think he makes any fucking sense. He just, he memes, and then like his points are just like awful. And I'll respond to them, and then they'll just like go nowhere.
No, but like today, because he interrupted the conversation I was having to do one of these like long meme things, and I was actually a mod in the room as well. I just kind of called him on it, like, bro, what are you doing? If you don't have a conversation, fuck off. Like, what? I don't understand what you're doing. And then he did some like deep psychoanalysis, and then it's so cringe. He basically groups everyone in by his like armchair analytic philosophers. In his mind, he's got this cringe dynamic of like, we, fucking ascended continental philosophers, we understand, we can survey the entire kind of landscape, and we understand things so much better than these like myopic parochial thinkers, and they come into this room, spouting their analytic philosophy. It's like, bro, you're a fucking retard. What are you talking about? Like, you're not anywhere. Like, you haven't clocked anything. Like, he's almost like, I've completed analytic philosophy, and I'm like ascended past it. I've transcended. It's like,
to be fair, there's like pretty much everybody who does like, who considers themselves like a philosopher who's outside of analytic philosophy, they like all say that.
He completed Hegel's system.
I don't know.
No, it's funny. It's like the one kid that got like bullied in 8th grade, kind of like managed to like make everybody forget about it in the 9th grade. But now in the 10th grade, like he like slipped up one time and then him and his
No, I'll be super real with you. Part of the reason I'm not gonna go full retard is because it was kind of weird. It's like when you do the accent, it's kind of a bit racist a bit. You know what I'm saying? Like the way people used to do the Buffagate thing was a bit.
It was like Ariana's weird.
No, Detroit did it. Everyone was doing it.
Oh, really?
The whole Haiti crew.
Assalamu alaikum.
So Quranism is the worst position a Muslim can take. I find that interesting because I feel like it's the best position a Muslim can take. The words of God, following God alone, submitting to Allah alone.
But a book isn't God. God isn't a book.
Wait, hold on.
See, this is quite funny, but I don't know. It's not funny enough. But I appreciate the humour, honestly. I wish you the best.
Cheerio.
Sorry, go ahead, brother.
Cheerio.
Cheerio, company. Yeah, go ahead.
If you're marrying them, yeah.
Yeah, like in the statement I made, all throughout history, all countries or all societies all have different consenting ages, right? The question there is, what does that mean? But he already told us what it means in the question. He answered it, right? And that's what I'm saying there, is that he's taking the second part of my argument. He's not adding the context to the first part of the argument when addressing Matt. And
What do you mean when you say it's baked into the question? What do you mean by that?
Like as far as the term minor and making me a part of the argument, those 2 points.
Well, I thought you said that the age of consenting was baked into the question by him using the term minor. Is that right? That's kind of what yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that's necessarily true, but like you could use minor differently from age of consent.
Right, that's the point. So in the question, so if you notice, if you follow the context, it's like to your attraction. So to Matt, it's if you see Adam's apple, are you still attracted? And then to be now,
he says no.
Now this Right. Now, this person's saying, let's see if you're consistent if you see a minor. So that in itself, the question has implications there.
Right.
That it's something that if you're consistent, you should say no.
But that's not about consistency. Like, you could answer the question differently and you could still be consistent.
Yeah, and the point that I'm making is that this is a claim that somebody's made that this is their motive, is to find consistency. Like, that's the reason for the question. But anyways, like the point that I'm making is...
Well, I'm saying that it doesn't actually elucidate whether or not you're inconsistent. That's like asking, hey, if I think nurture plays a large role in attraction, and then someone asks me, do you like short women? And I say no. And it's like, are you attracted to minors? Like that's not a consistency check. I don't even understand how they're related.
So me either. But let me just ask you this question. So when somebody says, "Hey, that question is to challenge your argument is nurture," when they make that statement, isn't that a straw man in itself? Because isn't that avoiding my specific argument that laid out to support the claim?
It could be a straw man if they reassemble your argument to say, hey, this is what you meant. And you're like, well, that's not what I meant. Because I don't think the question actually addresses the argument.
At all.
And so in that sense, it could be, you could view it as a straw man. Because they're essentially, if they think the question is relevant, then it's relevant to a different position than the one you have. Because it's clearly not related to the one.
Don't say. Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you, Bob. I really do. I wish you guys could engage on the philosophical tip. Incan, just...
Of course.
Damn, bro. Nick attacked him in too, bro. Wait.
Please stop. I don't know any allegiance. I call him the way I see him. I don't...
Hey, I appreciate you, Bob.
Okay, Samoa, cool. But, wait. Bob, originally, right?
Yeah, cross-examination.
We were talking... Yes, originally we were talking about nurture versus nature, right?
Yeah.
I asked the question to Matt because Matt disagreed. We were talking about homosexuality, a person being born with it, and what we call nature is you being.
What up, dude? Hello?
Hello? You became the personal recorder for journalism?
You gotta listen. I'm scraping the gutter for stupidity. They're overflowing with stupidity. They're just figuring out words, apparently.
Oh man, yeah, journalism was pretty tough too.
I don't know how Nathan does it. He must be a He must be a stay-at-home dad.
Or he has his own business, like most of us.
Yeah, well, he's not doing much business. He's running his mouth right now in chillism.
I can't do it all the time. Most of the time, I'm in my room, I'm working.
Yeah, I'm about to go do some yoga.
Yeah, I just left. That's what I'm doing now. I just left the gym.
Yeah, that's actually where I need to go. It's raining out, though, right now, so I might do yoga, then go to the gym.
What are you working on today? You go every day of the week to the gym, or you do like 3 days?
It just depends, but generally I try to go every day,
Yeah.
But if I
7 days or 5?
Probably five days a week, probably.
Yeah, 5 days. Yeah,
Then one day, stay local. I go to the park and I work out at the park and then do laps around the park.
That's good. How many, have you timed your miles yet?
Dude, I barely run. I mostly do power walk and inversion, but I haven't run and timed myself. I'd probably be who knows, 18 minutes if I didn't want to break my heart.
Yeah, Don says he runs 5 miles in 20 minutes.
He's so full of shit. He is so full of shit.
He's full of shit, right?
He does not jog. He does not jog around that fucking neighborhood, I can assure you.
Yeah. I catch him on all the time when I'm jogging.
Have you seen his body? He's like, skinny and old. I mean, the guy does not, work out. He does. There's no gym by his house. He doesn't have a weight set. He doesn't, he needs to work out. He really does.
He drinks. He picking up beer cans, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go to the grocery store and buy beer, you should at least go to the grocery store after you go to the gym.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. You get it.
Yeah, you can drink as long as you work out because it's just calories in, calories out.
But that's the thing about me. I haven't been losing a lot of calories lately. I gotta figure out how I can lose more calories.
Yeah, you gotta sweat. You gotta literally get on a treadmill for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was, like, when I first started back working out a lot, I was doing, like, running first. I start off my gym with running and doing, like, 20 to 30 minutes. And then I start working out. But I got lazy from running and I stopped going to the gym more. And I just immediately, like, I walk around the track a couple times and start lifting weights. I gotta get my running back up.
Yeah, you gotta warm your body up. That's for sure. But I mean, are you stretching? Like, do you pull your hamstrings?
Nah, I don't pull any muscles.
No, I mean pull on them, stretch them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, do you think Nathan and Chillism or Tolly, who have been on this app every day for multiple years, have ever been to the gym? Hell no. Hell no.
He was making a difference.
They don't do shit. They're here all day long. Either they're working in the background, but the thing is, it's like you can't really work when you're listening to a conversation because you're thinking about the conversation. So it's impossible to really get any focused work done. This is not just like the radio because there's the opportunity to communicate. But on the radio, you know that it's a one-way communication. You really know that. But here, it creates a feedback where you want to give feedback, and so you're thinking about it. But yeah, you got packed up yesterday. You got roasted. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I always get roasted. I don't take much offense to it.
But I encourage you to keep, creating rooms with Jazzy and record it because it's comedy.
Yeah.
Just frame it as comedy. Put a mic, put a clown. Just call it the Comedy Clubhouse. Every morning you will bring smiles to people's day because people will laugh their asses off at how ridiculous it is. That's good content.
Clubhouse?
Yeah, Comedy Clubhouse.
That's a good switch up.
It's a reframe.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a powerful reframe because people take this so seriously as if it's real life and they want to kill people as if it's real life. But if they came into a room and they knew that it was all comedy, you could save people from their own insanity. Because people who are so crazy, they would realize, oh fuck, I'm crazy and this is stupid, but it's funny.
I was in a room with Lil Haiti last night. She said that she heard me on one of your YouTube. I went on your YouTube. I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, there's thousands and thousands of videos.
I was looking through. I'm like, man, you just doing yoga fucking live. Fuck. And yo, do you who is John Kitover?
Huh?
Who is John Kitover?
That's my government name.
Oh shit! I seen you on the fucking I seen you on some other shit when I typed. Cause I couldn't think. Cause when Little Haiti told me that on last night, right? And I went to YouTube and I was trying to remember your YouTube name. I was like, let me put in John Kitover, and I put in John Kitover, and I see Bunkers Labs, and I'm thinking like, yeah, that's not Emmett. And then I'm like, oh shit, that does
Yeah.
John Kitover Edmund? Hold on. That was his real name the whole time? Fucking asshole. I'm thinking at first that was Pikachu's name.
See, you're so conditioned. That's the thing is, this is a conditioning app. I mean, I don't use my legal name, but for years I've been, people have been calling me Edmund because that was my original name on here. So people just kept calling me Edmund. But that's how conditioning works. I mean, is Jazzy's real name? I mean, is Oscar your name?
Nah, but a lot of people know my name. But then also when I type in your name on YouTube, it's all kind of like it got like a few of your videos, and then I keep scrolling. Okay, John. So like it said, John Kitover is Kanye. Darren LaHood, and then it has you and Hogan. And then I keep scrolling and it says religious girls dancing like crazy. And are Jews the chosen people? And what does that mean? So this is all on your YouTube John Kitover channel, like the Jews,
everything comes up.
Religious girls dancing. Like, what kind of creep shit are you into, Emmett?
I don't know about the religious girls dancing. It could be a comedy or something. I mean, meaning that, like, I'm trying to, create content. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Let me see.
And then you have something, you're a creep, Edmund. You got sexy Jewish girls celebrating God's decision to making his.
It's supposed to be comedy, dude.
You're a creep, bro.
I don't know which one you're talking about. But I'm a comedian. I'm not a creep, I'm a king of comedy. Are you a peasant of comedy, or are you going to be a king of comedy?
Oh my God! And I just found your old shit. Hold on, let me see.
Even if you type in my name, my live video comes up. But that's because I'm subscribed to all this stuff.
Well, look. Okay. Well, you got IHateSuits.com. Is that yours?
That's my old website. Yeah.
And who is this fucking crazy lady jumping around?
Oh, in a bikini or something?
Yeah.
Just some actress who I was using to create videos. Yeah. Is it YouTube? I thought they deleted that.
No, I got all your shit. That's what I'm saying.
Let me see.
You got a whole bunch of crazy shit you was into.
Yeah, I was creating websites and content.
No, it's still up here.
I don't see it.
Is it secure web partner?
Yeah. I had a lot of domain names, but I'm just done with it. There's no point in owning domain names anymore because round earth versus flat earth.
I bet you forgot about all the stupid shit you done posted up.
Yeah, because you're talking about thousands of videos. I can't remember, what I've posted. There's so much content because I have so many phones and so many YouTube accounts. Yeah, but Clubhouse is in a lot of videos.
Yeah, I know. I'm go right quick.
What up, Andrew? Damn, Andrew, you're going hard on these chillism people, like, mercilessly last night. Holy cow. Wow, you broke free from your own Andrew Matrix to be here right now. Wow. Is there anything you want to say, Dr. Andrew? I mean, you go so hard on this app. Not as hard as you, sweetie. Like, why do you do the gay talk? I mean, is it because you're offended that I said you got beat up at a party by some guy that you made a pass at? I mean, you could defend yourself. But, pumpkin, you don't have to flirt. It's okay, sweetie pie. Do you have a date lined up tonight? Are you taking out somebody for dinner? What are you doing for the Shabbos? Are you cooking a Cornish ham? Cornish hen? Good Shabbos. Have you ever thought about reading the Bible on here, Andrew? Thanks. You too. You should just read the Bible. Like, just read Proverbs, read Ecclesiastes, read Psalms. Just read it. Like, invite people to your room. You'll freaking have like 50 people listen to you read the Bible, and they'll be like, wow, that was the best Andrew room ever. Because it's not you, it's the Bible. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your positions, your opinions. People would probably prefer just to hear you read the Bible. Just FYI, because it's communication.
I'm just saying this big stinking white girl at the gas station. She was musty as hell.
Also, Andrew, I do think the depiction of you as Woody from Toy Story is a pretty good doppelganger from Hollywood for you. And I tried to do AI imaging where I took your PTR and I was like, make this into Woody from Toy Story, but it just kept giving me back Woody from Toy Story. It wouldn't merge your face onto Woody, so I couldn't get the full effect because you look so much like Woody that it was just creating Woody. This is chillism. Listen to this.
For him to come to that conclusion. Okay, cool. So that's the argument there. Then I zoomed out and expanded it to the differences of all societies with the term consenting age. By him removing all of the complexities in my argument and reducing it down to something called nurture, by definition, that's what oversimplification
This is Samoa.
So the argument is, okay, let's see if we can actually get this clear. The conclusion is attraction more so than, nurtures more so than nature explains attraction. Is that what your thesis is?
Yes. Nurture more so influences attraction than nature. Right.
Okay. And as evidence of that, you bring up different consent. You bring up ages of consent laws or norms, I should say, and you say society implements cultures that condition you.
Yeah. The first part is specifically for Matt's case, so that's the whole preferable heterosexual, right? The second part is a zoomed out illustration of these are all different, and they'll have their own justification of what's preferable and not preferable. But
so what you're saying is, in this specific example, in this specific case, this is an example of a cultural norm that is influencing your attraction, and then we zoom out and you give a bunch of examples of different cultures and different norms that inhabit those cultures and environments. And you say that's evidence for nurture playing a heavy
a large role, yeah. And the point that I'm making is the straw man that I'm putting out again is in both of the parts of my argument, they're all within a general context. By him asking the question, by laying it by consistency, he's now making the person the actual argument. So I can have this argument set aside.
I think I understand what you're saying.
All right, good.
I think this question, because you're not making a claim that norms entail certain attractions, if you're not making that claim, then the question isn't going to interact with your argument or your position, because that could still be true. Like if I say most bears are brown and someone says, well, here's a black bear, that's not a consistency check because that's entailed in your theory.
Yeah, so the straw man again, and just if we can get back to this.
Can I ask Bob a question right quick?
Can I just ask this quick question? Did his question address the context of my actual argument? By his admission, but all right, good. So that's the first criteria that we need to meet, right?
Okay, that was your question. You say you want to get a quick one.
Yes, you're saying, bro.
Yo, what's up, Nathan?
What do you think his argument is?
I think his argument is nurture plays a major role in attraction, and the reason to think that, or one of the reasons to think that, is that throughout human history, we've had different societies that had different norms about attraction, and we can clearly derive, like looking at those cultures descriptively, we can clearly see that the fact that they were attracted to different things, and the things they were attracted to were artifacts of their societies, like normative, like social artifacts of their societies, that gives us good reason to think that nurture plays a heavy role in attraction. And that should be, yeah. I think that's, by the way, I think that's trivially true. But
yeah. But that wasn't his argument. His argument initially was society plays a factor in all attractions. That's what he said. Today,
That's an absolute lie.
No, the question is, guys. The question is like,
one second. Let me just say. I'm gonna say this last thing. Because when we had the argument, I argue that attraction is determined by our nature, by who we are. You smell something, you like it, you attracted to it. That's nothing to do with with the nurturing, with the society. That's something to do with your nature. But anyway, so look, that was stated.
That's so stupid.
He disagreed with it. He disagreed with it, and he illustrated to Matt why your attraction isn't have anything to do with you. It has something to do with your nurturing.
Okay,
that was the argument.
Okay, so
both those claims are obviously false.
Okay, so
absolutely, bro.
Okay, so what's relevant here is how strong was Samoa's initial claim, right? Like from what I got with my discussion with Samoa, I'm not saying I understood what he was saying completely yesterday. From what I got, he was making a very strong claim. Like he was saying something like nurture is predominantly or very, 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 very strongly what influences our attraction, right? So that's if the claim is really, really strong, right, from Samoa initially, then I think it's okay for someone to appropriately ask him well, how do you if the norm changed around which age you would be attracted to in your society, do you think your personal view would change? I think that's a probative question. But if someone was making the weaker claim, the one that Bob's pointing to, which is just nature plays a role, right? But it's not by far the major factor, right? It just plays a role. Sorry, nurture plays a role, right? And nature plays a role as well, right? But he's just saying nurture also plays a role. Then it's not that probative of a question, right? In some sense, you are kind of shifting the ground. So it just matters how strong.
Wait.
That's what I.
No, say that last part. It is a what?
Well, Milith. It is a shift of ground, right? But it just depends on how strong your initial claim was, Samoa. So, there's one context in which it is a shift of ground, and there's another context in which it's definitely not.
Samoa, be honest. Did you say all society?
All right. So in the second part of the argument, I said all societies have different consenting ages. When I first started the argument, it was addressing the Adam's apple. So I created a specific type of society.
Wait. The Adam's apple had to do with the nature, right? The nature.
Nathan, real quick,
me about.
Hey, Nathan, real quick. So that's your side. So let me just say my side, so we don't get it confused, right? So Matt gave an answer. His answer is, I'm no longer attracted. I said, cool.
Why did he say that?
You're still trying to make your point, brother.
My point, because this is the reason why we're debating, bro. You don't agree. Yeah, you said that I took your argument out of context. When in fact you were arguing nurture, and I argued about nurture. I asked you a question about nurture.
All right. What I'm saying right here, right now, is you never addressed my actual argument by your own admission.
Wasn't your argument about nurture, Samoa?
Fudge, bro.
I think I understand what Nathan is trying to say, but
no, I know what he's saying, but he's not. So I'm saying
yes.
this. Well, I mean,
so your argument is about nurture. I'm asking you a question about nurture, right? How am I strawmanning you?
So what you're strawmanning is my argument, bro. So I offered an argument. Hold on. Yes, I offered an argument.
Asking a question about something you said.
All right, you're still trying to make your point, Nathan. Can I just finish, bro? Like, I know what your point is. I can repeat it to you, bro. So my point is this. Matt gave an answer. And to that answer, I gave, I stated society, and then I offered the argument to support the claim. So in this argument, there's details that he can refute. There's preferred heterosexuality. There's, the whole, nuclear family, the whole, woman-man makes this, whatever the hell it is, right? You can refute any of these things here. All right, that's fine. But within my actual argument providing this, you have to be able to argue that. You can't change the context from the first example to the second example and apply your own. But by your own admission, you said, I'm not even addressing that. I'm addressing your claim. So you're admitting right now that you're going after nurture, not my argument.
Bro, all the shit you said, bro, all the fluff, that was to support nurture. I'm not gonna attack the things that support it, bro. I'm gonna attack your argument just on the nurture itself. And I didn't attack it. I asked the question about it.
All right.
I think it's more like hostile questions. That's the nature of the disagreement here. You were asking really hostile questions, and I think Samoa doesn't appreciate that sort of.
But he's called it a straw man. That's what we debated. He called that a straw man. You're wrong.
I think whatever it is, I don't think it's dishonest engagement. I think it's not a straw man. It's dishonest engagement.
You guys can look at it.
You might say that it's irrelevant to the point you were trying to make, but it's not a straw man.
So just real quick.
Bring my money up, brother.
Wait, hold on real quick, bro. Like you can't just filibuster and then say you win, bro. I need to be able to.
You just said it's not a straw man.
Hold on, bro. So then my question is this, right? So then, bro, just shut up, man. Relax. All right, so Bob. So you agree with me?
On purpose to you, bro.
Hey, can you go somewhere, bro?
He's literally parading you on Clubhouse.
Hey, man, can we move him somewhere or silence him somehow? Come on. All right, Bob. Real quick question. So you do agree with me that the context of my argument, my actual argument, right, is generalized, and by him asking me about my view, right, is individualizing it. That's the first criteria.
That could be true, but I don't think that's necessarily an illegitimate move.
All right, hold on. So
it depends on how you would. It depends on how you understand your argument. Like if I say, all bears are brown. And then you're like, what about this bear? That's like individualizing it. But it's clearly relevant because if I found an individual bear that wasn't brown, that would falsify your view.
All right, so I think we're kind of moving here. So I have an argument, right? And the person isn't the argument. The argument stands on its own. Do you agree there?
No, you're talking about France. But they all the little beta bull on the playground. Hold up. We heard you. They're the same. They're the same person on the playground.
Let me finish talking. I'll talk.
You're an instigator.
Appropriate for an adult to engage in sexual actions with a child, because they're different. They're at different stages in their life, and the child cannot intellectually compete with the adult. They don't have the same level of emotional experience. They literally cannot understand the ramifications of their actions, especially when it pertains to that adult. So, again, right? What you're saying is that your moral compass tells you that being attracted to children is wrong. Yet, you give a pass to Muhammad. I think that's wrong.
Again, this is so, man. So try to say what I said. Again, what I said, there is no age for marriage. There is two conditions: no harm and the agreement of the two partners.
Marrying a 9-year-old girl is inherently causing her harm.
Okay, if this is the case, it's not allowed.
And again, the two parties agreeing, a child cannot consent.
He can consent to change his gender. He can consent to have sex with another.
It's not about that. You need to stay right on this topic, right?
Why are you saying what about?
The topic is, can children under the age of 10 meaningfully consent to something? And what we believe, and what most everybody except for Islam currently believes, is that no, they cannot meaningfully consent, right? And furthermore, the no harm is going to be a problem because 9-year-olds are not physically ready to have sex with a man, right? Their vaginas.
Yeah, this is not scientific at all. So
yes, it is. I will explain with you. I will explain to you. I will explain to you. Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Merely menstruating does not constitute being ready for sex, right? It is one of the conditions, but it's not the sufficient condition, right? So if I'm 9 years old and I menstruate, it doesn't mean that my vaginal portal, my vagina and uterus are large enough to accept a male penis, right? It would do harm to them. They're not physically ready at all, right? Just because they merely had a period doesn't mean that that's going to be sufficient.
Let me tell you something, Tim. So the marriage of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was at 6. So tell me, why did Prophet Muhammad ﷺ waited for 3 years?
Because I don't know. He was still playing with dolls when he was having sex with her, and it was forbidden to play with dolls if you were a women.
Okay, you didn't answer my question again. The marriage was at 6. Prophet Muhammad assumed the marriage after 3 years.
Yeah, exactly, because it doesn't matter in my opinion whether she was 6 or 9. Neither of those ages are going to be sufficient condition for him to have sex with her. Because 9-year-olds are not capable of physically, like without harming them, having sex. Just merely having your period is not a sufficient condition. It may be a necessary condition to be called a woman, but it's not sufficient.
So this shows that you are not consistent.
What have I not been consistent about?
Yeah, I will tell you.
The only person that's not consistent is you. Okay, so if you're gonna make
just allow me to speak for 1 minute, and after that,
if you're gonna make claims like that, I need you to show your homework. We are being extremely consistent. We are being extremely consistent. We are not promoting the fucking of children. But you're
this is a Muslim room. You should be respectful. You're not allowed to curse.
Yeah, just promise you don't curse. Remember, just promise.
For starters,
to be in the room, I agreed to it. Like it's his room, so I'm just gonna abide by the no swear.
That's fine. But for him to get
it's my turn to speak. We can have different opinions, no problem. But I think you should allow me to speak.
Cussing, but be okay with raping children, I think is morally wrong. I don't care if it hurts his feelings that I say fuck every so often. I think it's worse that he thinks it's okay to.
Yeah. So animals are not allowed in my room, Romero. Yeah. So when you learn to talk like humans, you're welcome. Yeah, Tim. So when we look in all human history, we see that marrying at a young age is something normal. When we look in your states, United States, so you have around 50% of children practicing sex before high school. So you are oppressing your children for no reason. You are advocating for fornication and you are against marriage, which doesn't make any sense. So we as Muslims, we are for marriage. If children want to get married, they are allowed to, with two conditions: the agreement of the two partners, and there is no harm. Full stop.
Okay. So we're just having a difference. We're having a large disagreement here, and I'm not sure if you're hearing what the disagreement is. So I'll just say it again. The disagreement is that a 9-year-old, or even a 6-year-old, as you claim that Aisha was when she got married, I'm saying that under my paradigm, in my view, that no sex
to kill the argument. So when I see a straw man, I see a new argument, new target, individual context, and how you attack it to win the argument.
Yeah, I understand. I'm saying it could be. I'm saying it could be a straw man, or it could not be, depending on what your initial claim was.
Well,
which I wasn't privy to.
Look at the argument. What does it support? Them or me?
No. I understand what you're saying now. Based on what you're saying now, to be clear.
Or so, and that's the conviction, and the canonization happened centuries later. So Sunni.
Do the deep research. We'll just check if this. No, they got nothing on the Nation of Islam though. Those people are like the funny ones.
Oh, there's a new one. I got beta 4.5.
Dr. James.
Research. Oh no, that's preview. Sorry.
Oh, 3 is the best one.
Oh, 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, 3.
I think so. I think it basically, to my understanding, it basically only hinges on, did you claim that nurture necessarily determines attraction, or did you just claim that in most cases nurture is very influential on attraction?
Yeah,
depending on whether or not you said the former or the latter, that's going to determine whether or not
it's a straw man.
The generality point and all of that, yeah, that's going to determine it.
Thank you.
And that's basically the only thing that determines it.
Right, but knowledge. Wasn't this claim that all? Wait 1 second. Knowledge. Wasn't this claim that all? Yeah, wasn't this claim that all societies? What you call it? All societies dictate what we are attracted to.
Yes.
The dude changed it. Bro, he changed it at the same time.
So hold up.
So many days that he's starting to look.
Do you remember him saying all societies are? You was here.
No. Nathan. Hold up. That's not the. Hold up.
Nah, bro, it's been days, and
that's
now
not
it's
the
so
generality.
convoluted that you get to dance and actually kind of twist shit because it's so long that we've been talking about it, and that now you changing your stance.
Look.
Knowledge try to treat him like a son. It's looking ugly on you, bro. Day after day, every different conversation, you switching what you said, bro.
I called it out last night. I said I felt bad because I even helped your argument. I argued for the whole nurture position, and now you're switching up for.
Now he's saying that wasn't even his position because he's talking
sometimes they have an effect on it.
Bro, this is dumb.
Knowledge treated him like a son yesterday, bro. He was like, "Look, Samoa, I too made a mistake one time, bro." He said, "I too made one, bro." He treated him like a son.
To be clear,
yeah, this is kind of bad, bro. Just because people don't agree with one thing you said, we gotta do this for a week, nigga.
Brother, you don't gotta do anything.
To be clear,
What we do? You've been in here dicking around for a week.
Can I ask you a quick question, Bob?
Nathan.
No.
Yes, no.
Can I ask you a quick question, bro?
Yeah, what's up? To be Bob is Hiwa.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
To be fair to Samoa, the claim all societies have influenced attraction isn't inconsistent with the claim he's making now. Imagine these two propositions. The norms of all societies have influenced attraction, and attraction plays a heavy role in. Nurture plays a heavy role in attraction. Those two statements aren't in conflict.
Exactly. If nurture plays a heavy role in attraction, right? Not a heavy role on it, but nurture is responsible for attraction. That was.
No, I understand that.
Wow.
No, I get that. But hold up. What you just said.
No, I get what you're saying too, Bob. Like when he changed it up. Yeah,
No, Nathan. You just said his claim was all societies have influenced attraction. The generality there is all societies. That is consistent with claiming that nature has an influence, but doesn't causally or necessarily determine attraction.
No, he was arguing against it. He was arguing against it.
Sit down, AK. Sit down, bro.
No, you are a liar, dude.
But his argument was that nature.
It's fucking weird, bro. All to win an argument, bro. When everybody
no, that's
fucking argument, bro.
Yeah, I